Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we spent a lot of money last episode, no doubt about that, but we can deploy again in just a couple of days here. So let's tick forward until our mech warriors are back, but I don't think we need to wait until our Black Knight is back. Let's just hop directly into the barracks and get any promotions that we need done. Point to piloting for Capo would be fine.
Good.
What else do we have here?
Talk to me.
Reading.
Yes, command.
Waiting
Nothing.
for orders.
Literally nothing. Okay. Well, that's all fine. We'll hop into the command center and see what we've got available. I'm looking for something that is quick and easy money. An urban battle against Word of Blake. Probably not. A Highland battle against Comstar. This one might not be too bad. We don't have any intelligence about other possible enemies on the ground. So there probably will be other enemies on the ground. That's reasonably likely. But I think right down the middle is not terrible here, and we can think about running something like this. So we would drop the hoplite in here, and that would of course be Brick piloting the hoplite. Beyond that, Capo would not have the Black Knight, but we can bring the Rifleman, and we could also then bring the Wraith as a backup for the Black Knight. So that would be reasonably fine. The Rifleman pilot was previously who? Gorgon? You've driven the Rifleman. Sure. That seems fine. And then as far as the Wraith goes, the Wraith was of course replaced by the Grasshopper, so we're probably just going to need to grab someone kind of at random to pilot the Wraith for right now. That does indeed appear to be the case. So I think we'll just toss Coach into the Wraith for the moment. We can't deploy anything else. We can't deploy like this Trebuchet here. That's a vehicle slot. So this is going to be the best we can do for now without the Black Knight, but I would rather deploy quickly here since everything else is good to go. So let's just deploy and see what we've got. Hopefully this will go pretty quick against Comstar, but we'll see. Darius thinks it'll be hard. He might be right. I'll see you guys after the loading screen. Well, that wasn't too bad of a loading time, so hopefully that means not too many enemies. We'll see what this ends up looking like.
Interface initiated.
Solid intel that the enemy lance is in the region, indeed. There may be additional enemies, but for now, all we see is the enemy scout lance, which is up over here. So we could land, like, about here and just make our way around this direction. That seems reasonable. Yeah, this seems absolutely fine in theory. Okay, so we see a line holder, we see a locust, we see a fire starter. That's half of their lance. Nothing too shocking over there as of right now. And okay, there we go. That's more like it. So there are reinforcements out over here. We see a stealth, we see an IS standard, a javelin, a goblin ISV, an Ignis, and a cicada. Nothing too spooky out here. And then over here there is a javelin, a venom that we did not previously see. There should be a sixth over here, though. Ah, a wasp. Okay. Nothing tremendously spooky. I think we send our Centaur this direction, along with perhaps the Shadowhawk. Yeah, there's that IS standard. This Locust is moving forward, and then our fire support should position around centrally here and be focusing for now on these guys out over here. So that'll be the plan. That Venom is, of course, moving up. The Apollo is going to be out over here as well.
Coordinates received.
We'll brace in that cover. But we should be able to eliminate a lot of these mechs relatively quickly. So next would be the Wraith. I'm going to send the Wraith this direction.
I got you.
There we go. And then the Grasshopper and Shadowhawk, I think, are going to go this way, is the overall idea. So there's a Wasp coming around over here. That is noted. Our Rifleman would be positioning out in these trees for now. We'll figure out where exactly we want these to go once we can actually start shooting at things. Okay, and then our Hoplite out over here is still good. So that's all phenomenal for the moment. That cicada's moving up. Looks good. They are, of course, spawn protected for right now. So there are 12 of them and 8 of us. That said, my money's on us. So for now, our grasshopper is going to start engaging out over this way.
Calling out.
And the Shadowhawk is going to go with. So we're just splitting up our cavalry. And the cavalry will go engage over here. And our fire support is going to basically hold still where it's at and start looking to pick off some of the weaklings. That's the idea here. Okay. So, I'm going to send the centaur out over here. Can we get behind that line holder? Sadly, we cannot. I'm wondering if we might want to reserve. Try to get in behind the line holder. Because we can't get around it right now. It's kind of blocking this path. And I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to reserve the centaur for now. So just reserve that back. That venom is moving up and is also kind of blocking this area. It is attempting to fire on our centaur and not getting all that much done, to be honest.
Talk to me.
It's still our centaur that's moving here. So I'm going to reserve that yet again.
Action.
And we'll see what they end up moving now. Phase 15. Probably something out over here. Yeah, this javelin. Cool. So they're attacking the grasshopper there. That seems absolutely fine for the moment.
Waiting for orders.
The Apollo, I kind of want to position out over here. We have some
Rolling.
decent targets here. Firestarter. We can fire on the stealth or on the javelin. The javelin has far weaker armor. So let's start to chip down this javelin.
Take this.
Structure exposure. And
Critical
that is a
hit,
lot of
Commander.
damage to that javelin, to be honest. The IS standard moves up. That seems okay.
Ready to rock.
Next is our Wraith. And I think that the Wraith positioning here is reasonably fine. Maybe. Maybe we should position it around here. Or we could take it around this direction to go after this Wasp. That's what I'm going to do for now. So we're going to fire on this Wasp with our PPC.
Engage target.
A solid hit there.
Inflicted some nasty on that some bitch.
Indeed you did. So next up, yeah, we can definitely go after that Wasp next
How's it
round.
going?
Next up is our Rifleman. And the Rifleman kind of wants to position about here, kind of straddling this line. And I would love to continue to fire on that Javelin. These hit odds are kind of abysmal. Did we fail our sensor roll? How much you want to bet we failed our sensor roll? No, actually. It's just high shot modifiers. Let's take it.
For an alpha strike.
Nice. So that's one dead mech.
That's a kill.
I like it. They get 3 movers in phase 13. But with one of them already down, that is definitely doing pretty well. And this Wasp has taken significant damage. Okay, the Cicada moves up, engages our Shadowhawk. Not concerning. That looks absolutely fine. Next up is our Grasshopper. I'm going to move the Grasshopper out over here. Do we want to continue to sprint in? We could alternatively sprint here. I kind of like this position better. It's not in cover, but I like it.
Primitive.
Checking our AC 20 hit odds. The answer is the stealth. Only 33%, but I wanted to get closed in over here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, we did manage to hit that. Beautiful. So that's a structure exposure on that stealth. In the arm, but still. We'll take it. I would have much preferred a CT there, but whatever. What are they moving next? And when do we move our hoplite? Phase 12? Okay. Just thinking about what our target for the hoplite would be. I think it would be these guys out over here. We need to eliminate this unit out here fairly quickly. So that Wasp is moving in and engaging our Wraith, and that's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. Note that we have not yet moved our Centaur. So the hoplite moves right now, and I really want to fire our artillery directly at this stealth. And I'm going to fire the chaff countermeasures, too. Nice hit there. That was a fantastic hit on that stealth. I love it. That was really, really good. We also did pretty heavy damage to this IS standard. Now, the IS standard is the target of our Shadowhawk because of the machine guns. But for now, we'll see what they end up doing. This is going to be the stealth that moves in this phase, and that goblin is moving up and going for a grasshopper. To be honest, it gets very little done there. So that's perfect. Who else do they move in this phase? Well, that'll be their fire starter? No, javelin. Their fire javelin out over here, and the stealth. Okay, so the stealth moves up and engages the Shadowhawk. I don't mind that. Our fire support can likely eliminate the stealth from here. It still has a decent amount of armor, but I definitely want to move the Shadowhawk up and engage the IS standard if we have the range. They're firing on our Centaur. I love this. That is absolutely excellent. The Centaur hasn't moved yet, and that is very, very deliberate. We're going to position our crossbow here, and hit odds are mediocre on this stealth. Okay. Yep, fair enough. We're still going to chip it down and see what we can get done there. Okay. Definite armor reduction on that stealth, so that looks solid for the moment. Phase 11, they still outnumber us, keep in mind. They have 3 more units than we do at this time. So Phase 11 is going to be this Ignis, which moves up and also goes for the Grasshopper. Did we just get a head hit there? What happened there? I heard ticking coming through. I don't know. We don't appear to have taken a head hit, so it seems fine for the moment. That fire starter is moving back over here and attacking the Centaur. Fair enough. No problem whatsoever there. Next up is that Shadowhawk move, and I'd like to position it here.
Holding off.
And we're going to hit this IS standard as hard as we possibly can with the machine guns. And that was a lot of armor damage to that IS standard. Perfect. It's exactly what I want to see. The line holder backs off here and fires on our Apollo, but gets very little done there, to be honest. So that looks solid for the moment. Now we can move our Centaur. And the idea here is I want to get in behind this Venom. Unfortunately, it just does not happen. We aren't able to turn it around here, sadly. So we'll probably have to go for side arc on this line holder. The thing doesn't have all that much armor.
Roger. Full throttle.
So for now, that's reasonably fine.
Affirmative.
Okay. So some side arc damage there. That'll do. And then now it's phase 17. So they're going to get to move their Wasp long before we get to move our Wraith. That's noted. This Locust is backing off and not doing anything of note. Looks good. Next round is going to be interesting, for sure. The Wasp is positioning there, though, which is an ideal location for us. I want the Wasp here. That's a great spot for us. Okay, our Shadowhawk gets to move next. And we're going to move up over here. And we're going to engage this IS standard again. Unfortunately, our machine gun jammed last round, but we'll continue to hit this IS standard. Significant damage dealt to it.
Heavy damage.
Perfect. The other machine gun is now unjammed. Okay. So yeah, heavy damage dealt to that IS standard. If only that machine gun hadn't have jammed, we could have done so much more. But alas, it did. So they're going to focus fire on our Centaur, but we can just kind of run around in their backline here and take our pick of the litter at this point. We can eliminate basically whoever we want. We can go rear arc on this Firestarter. We can go rear arc on this Locust. We can go rear arc on the Javelin. We can go rear arc on the Line Holder. We can go rear arc on the Venom. We can take out literally anything here. I think we'll position about here, allowing us rear arc on the Line Holder. Yes, we only have 5 evasive, but that should be okay. We'll hit the rear arc here, and this may not destroy the Line Holder.
Confirmed.
Heat sink destruction,
Punched right through his armor.
and he is unsteady, but it doesn't destroy him. So the IS standard is moving up and attacking the Grasshopper here. That's okay. It is absolutely not going to last very long. So our Hoplite is moving next. I think we fire on the Stealth here. Yeah. Take this shot.
Firing on target.
Very mediocre artillery shot, but otherwise not too bad. So phase 13, they're going to get to move the Stealth, they're going to get to move the Cicada. There are 4 units that they get to move this round, and 3 that we get to move. That's not bad, all things considered. So the Cicada's moving up and attacking the Apollo. I kind of want to move the Grasshopper back here to attack the Cicada. We'll see.
I'm your spaniel.
The Grasshopper does move next. This is definitely an interesting rear arc. So we would end up positioning it about here.
I'm going.
We're exposing our rear arc to these vehicles, and I'm aware of that. But I kind of like this shot.
Welcome to my house.
Yeah. We legged the Cicada there. That was worth it.
I think things are going.
So that Cicada's going to get knocked down.
There.
Absolutely. And it is in serious danger here. Perfect. Next up, the Stealth can move. We can also see this Goblin move. They can absolutely move in here and go heavily rear arc on our Grasshopper, which would be probably the right move. But instead, they're engaging our fire support, which is probably not the right move.
Folding.
Next
Commander?
mover is our Apollo, and I kind of want to just step ever so slightly back here. We could fire on the Stealth or on the Cicada, those are both within minimum range, or we could fire on the Goblin, side arc here, and we could theoretically take out the Goblin. Or we could just soften it up, and that is indeed exactly what we do. That did not do nearly as much side arc damage as I had hoped. Okay. Yeah, that didn't soften it up all that much. It does go rear arc on the Grasshopper, which was expected. So that's all completely fine for the moment. But then it just failed to move, which is fascinating. The Rifleman is going to break cover a little bit here and engage this Cicada. Now, I'm not going to fire, I think, this PPC due to heat. But everything else, let's go. Ooh, we missed a lot there, actually. We were at 71% hit odds. That was not ideal. Well, we did manage to damage the Cicada. This Venom is closing in over here. And it will start to engage the Wraith. This is absolutely fine. The Wraith will get to move very, very soon. In fact, right now. And I want to move in and hit the rear arc of this Wasp. So we could punch it, or we could go here and kick it. And that's what I'm going to do. We have a 50% chance of hitting this kick. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, we got it. Okay, so that is a legged unit there.
Reporting.
And that's actually a dead unit there. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, the Wraith is overheated a little bit. That's to be expected. Cool. Next up, they have another Phase 12 unit. They still outnumber us by 2 units here. But we are definitely giving better than we're getting. The Ignis is going to go for the rear arc of the Grasshopper. That is expected. No shockers
Commander, I'm
there.
reporting a slow roasting pilot here.
And now we've got our crossbow. So the crossbow could position back here and fire on the Cicada. And I think that is absolutely a good call here. Let's eliminate the cicada.
Firing all weapons.
One dead cicada. Fantastic.
Target.
So we have now eliminated almost 25% of the enemies. In fact, we have eliminated 25%. We've eliminated almost 33%. That's the way that that math ends up working. So they have a phase 11 mover, which is going to be this fire starter. We'll see what it decides to do. Positions there and does not fire. Okay, and then phase 10, which is the line holder. We'll see what it does. Backs off. Rear arc attacks our Apollo. I don't care about that. Cool.
Light damage.
So that's all looking very solid. Next up is our Centaur. So the Centaur, I really think, does need to be getting into some of these backstab scrapes. So we should head like over towards this Locust, or even potentially to this fire starter. Or we could just go for the kill on the line holder. It would be not all that much evasive. But we could absolutely do that, and I think it's okay. That's a torso destruction.
That.
Looks like a knockdown. Potentially. Not quite a knockdown. Okay. That line holder definitely took that shot better than I expected him to. But he has very little left, so it's all good. This guy's moving forward and attacking our rifleman. That's unsurprising. So far, that all looks good. Next up is going to be our crossbow. And the crossbow can position somewhere around here. We could fire on the stealth. Hit odds are not the greatest there. We could also fire on the javelin. We could fire on the line holder and get a knockdown. And that knockdown may well destroy the line holder. At the very least, a knockdown would be useful. Let's go ahead and fire this. So that'll obviously knock him down, and he'll take some internal damage there, but he does eject. Okay, so that is 33% of the enemies eliminated. At this point, I kind of feel like the Apollo should move in and do a melee attack here. And maybe not fire the LRM-15s. Okay, let's bring this in. We miss our melee attack. That is very unfortunate. It was a 50-50.
No love on that strike.
But we do manage to get a laser in there anyway. Okay, phase 14 is going to be this IS standard. I believe it just attached to our Shadowhawk. Yes, indeed.
Light damage, Commander.
Okay, so for now, that's absolutely fine. This Wraith is going to move in and attack this Venom. We are a little bit overheated, and we can't get our way around to the rear arc, so we're not going to fire the PPC for obvious reasons, and we'll just melee attack the Venom.
I'm on him.
We miss the melee. That's unfortunate. But this is mostly a heat sink turn.
Bang. That's a miss.
And we did get a little bit of armor damage on the Venom, I suppose. So that's fine. It's not great, but it is fine. We now have the same number of units as the enemy. I want to point that out. And yeah, they're continuing to hit the rear arc of our Grasshopper. That is expected. Those Inferno SRMs are rude, but whatever. So the Rifleman can absolutely move its way around over here and can start going for rear arc on this Venom, in theory. Heat is, of course, a bit of a concern, so we would just fire something like this. Okay, that was a leg hit. It'll do, but it's not great. The rest of these units we are going to be done with pretty soon. So this Locust moves up, attacks our Apollo, manages to stray shot his friend, and actually gets through the armor there. But that is, of course, hitting this arm, so that's to be expected. So at this point, we need to, not careful maneuvers, we need to, like, roll, or we need to do erratic maneuvering. Or we can attempt to remove the swarming battle armor with hands. 68% chance. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so we removed the battle armor with our hands, and actually that unit is, I think, destroyed, but it's not showing up as actually destroyed. So at this point, our hoplite is interested in positioning out over here. Okay, now that updated it. Cool. And I'm going to drop an indirect artillery shot up at this goblin ISV. I'm not going to fire the LRM due to heat.
Engaging target.
Cool. Armor reduction there. So phase 12, we are still in here. That is going to be this Venom, and beyond that, who else is it going to be? Well, the stealth is going to run away. That's good for us. We want the stealth to run away. Our fire support will have an easier time attacking it. So that's phenomenal. And then, of course, it will be this Venom, which is moving in and attacking our fire support over here, which is expected, and honestly, that's what we want. This is completely okay.
Damage minimal.
So next up is our Grasshopper, and the Grasshopper is going to turn around up over here. We're running quite a lot of heat right now, so we want to fire on the Ignis, but we're not going to fire most of these medium lasers. I think we're just going to pot shot the AC-20.
Confirmed.
And we do hit the AC-20 there, remarkably. We'll absolutely take that. That was very solid. Okay, next up, phase 10. That is going to be this Javelin. Cool. So the Javelin is heading down this direction and attacking our fire support. Looks good. There's very little they can do about this. Very, very little. This battle is pretty over, but it'll take a little bit to get it wrapped up. A little bit indeed. Who are they moving in phase 9? Oh, that guy. Okay. Definitely getting some damage done to the Grasshopper, but given its heat status, that's not surprising.
Armor.
Okay. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, and it's going to take us a little bit to get the rest of this cleaned up. I'm not too concerned about it, but it will definitely take a little bit of time. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.